Alright, so we are at the Basilisk, and the Basilisk is very interesting. It's very funny as well, because it is a size and medium, so literally a dwarf can be at eye level with this thing, or a human, dragonborn, orc, half-orc, Goliath even. So it's kind of funny because the Basilisk is such a very known, popular creature of ancient religions, folklore, legends, and whatnot. But it's pretty fucking small compared to its like historical context version. It's kind of funny. So, anyways, what I would kind of do, shorten petrifying gaze. How would I shorten it? Anyone that makes eye contact with the basilisk has to succeed a DC 17 or 18 Constitution saving throw, or be petrified. When they are petrified, they cannot perceive the world around them, which means they cannot do anything, which means they're null and void. They're not in combat. So, their party members have to use a greater restoration spell, revivify spell, or anything to get rid of the petrifying condition on them. Next, I would give it like multi-attack because it does have, extra limbs. I would also give it a claw attack, and maybe give it a burrow speed because it doesn't look like it's going underwater anytime soon, so mostly sticking on land. Next thing that I would do, I would up the Constitution a bit. I would then also up Charisma a bit because of Intimidation. I'm not too sure what I would do for Passive Perception. I think maybe 10, 11 is alright because of Petrifying Gaze is always going to be active, so anyone that's going to be looking at it, making eye contact with it, they're going to get petrified if they fail a Constitution saving throw, which is a high risk, which would then in turn bump the challenge rating up higher. If there's no real reason for the Basilisk to have a strong AC, keep in mind 15 is not too strong. It's kind of average, I would say. I would say average of AC is like around 13, 15, 14, that range. Anything more than 15 is considered high for me. 17 is considered pretty damn high. That is benchmarking between the, okay, these monsters are a bit hard to difficult. They're a bit hard to deal with, very difficult. And then obviously 18's like astronomical. HP, pretty damn good. The reason for that is because when you have monsters with high AC, you do want to give them low HP. However, this is about average. This is pretty good. If, let's say, I wanted to break into, 16 and 17, I would keep the HP where it is. 52 is pretty good. 55 is the sweet spot for any monsters with high AC. Now, considering if I want to make the Basilisk huge, which is bigger than large, or gargantuan, it doesn't have any magical ace. It doesn't have magical armor. It's just natural armor, so therefore it's not really magical. Then I would drop the AC lower, but I would give it high HP. That way, it still feels tanky. It still feels like it's absorbing damage. Now, what would that HP look like? Probably around the 110s, 112, 110, 120-ish range. But that's only if its AC is lower than 13. So around 11 or 10 mark. 12 is about like high-low, so to speak. But yeah, ability scores look good. And dexterity, if you want it to be a bit slow. Constitution, I would bump that up a bit more, or kind of keep it around where it is if you're keeping the AC where it is. If not, again, if you're going to drop it, high HP. If you're going to increase it, keep the HP where it is. Intelligence, Wisdom, yeah, keep them where they are. Charisma, I would bump it up just for the Intimidation factor because of Petrifying Gaze. And again, with all those changes, it will bump up the challenge rating even more. There are water versions of Basilisks. I would do more research on that for how to change this Basilisk into that kind of version of itself. But again, nothing really to complain about. It's kind of good, but when we go to but here, that's kind of where that's kind of like a really good foundation for a much more difficult version of a Basilisk. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, or maybe you have some thoughts of your own, leave them down in the comment section below. I would love to look at your suggestions and whatnot. And with that said, Fara Viking, Skål!